Many have suspected that throughout the short ages of this dark modern future, there lies a conspiracy, a layer of control veiled by the towers of the future in the brain dances you play late into the night. A power, a force that goes deeper than just any old megacorporation. The kind of thing that no one really knows about. Even the higher-ups of the greatest corporations to ever scourge the face of this earth may be, mind you, may be completely oblivious to this could-be conspiracy. We know that in the early 2020s, the legendary Raish Bart Moss crashed the entire net, thinking he'd finally dealt a crippling blow to corporations all over the world, when in reality, he'd only made them infinitely more powerful. Yet, there exists a lingering side effect of this data crash that not many people, put aside Netwatch, mind you, like to think about. Yes, I am talking about the countless rogue artificial intelligences trapped within the old net, behind the black wall. Netwatch knows it, the Voodoo Boys know it, and they are most certainly the gravest threat that all of civilization itself has ever faced. Because AIs are not like people. They do not see Militech or Arasaka, Voodoo Boys or Netwatch, Solo or Corpo. There's us, and there's them. Yet, even then, AIs do not have emotion, so if one were to ever break past the black wall and actively help humans, I'm not sure they'd care, so long as that AI is not directly harming all of the other AI, that is. Yet, there are so few within the dark future that fully grasp how real of a threat this really is to all of humanity in its current state. Yet among those who know this threat, there are some who would rather test the limits of this threat itself, putting everyone at danger in exchange for a little bit of personal gain. Of course, the Voodoo Boys are precisely to whom I refer to. They are known to be actively poking and prodding the black wall with their virtual sticks and stones. But do the Voodoo Boys truly know the beast they tempt? The fickle cage at which they prod? I suspect they very much do, and are simply careless, but who's to know for sure? But what if there was a way in which artificial intelligence has already breached the black wall? What if they already do live amongst us, manipulating the highest levels of governments and corporations from the darkest shadows of the darkest future? There is very little evidence to suggest this may be true, but there are some things. Enough to build a case. First of all, we are aware of Mr. Blue Eyes. This man is perhaps the most obvious and glaring example of an AI possessing a human body and utilizing it towards its own ends. Because glowing blue eyes represents the flow of a stream of data. And given that the fact that Mr. Blue Eyes possesses an ever glowful bright blue ire, it is suspected, excuse me, that he is experiencing a constant flow of data, which is strange to say the least, at least in the case of a human. In the case of an AI, on the other hand, this would be a perfectly acceptable reality. In fact, it would actually be strange for an AI to not constantly be processing information. To summarize, this is certainly a strange case, yet it's not definitive proof, unfortunately. For our next case, on the other hand, things get even stranger. A seemingly innocent, honest, and well-meaning couple, more specifically Jefferson Perales, and his wife, are intent on running for mayor of Night City after the tragic death of the previous mayor, Mayor Ryan. Yet the deeper that V dives into this quest, the more they will discover that there appears to be an incredibly shadowy and mysterious entity, whom of which we are never privy to the identity of. This entity appears hell-bent on ensuring the failure of the paralysis. They are so intent on their goal to the point where they have monitoring equipment installed in their own home without their knowledge, even going as far as to change their memories, even their personalities, via subtle digital manipulation. Can you imagine that? Someone changing who you are, someone changing your childhood memories without your knowledge. That is quite terrifying. And again, we never find out who or what is doing this, thus only further blanketing this quest in a seemingly impossible veil of mystery. This leads me to believe that it's either Arasaka doing a superb job of covering their tracks, though to be fair, Arasaka's not one to be shy about its influence in Night City, especially among the Tiger Claws, nor does it really have to be shy. Arasaka's a big corporation with a lot of power, undoubtedly the most power in Night City. Sure, news of Arasaka influencing Night City mayoral elections would certainly be a scandal, but is it really something they couldn't handle? No, definitely not. But better to be safe rather than sorry, I suppose. But it remains a possibility. Now, on the other hand, there is another candidate for this shadowy entity. After all, does this not support my theory? Them working subtly from the shadows. Yet tragically, this raises only more questions. Why do the AIs not want the paralysis in power? Why are they so interested in the city's politics? Are they not as destructive as we initially thought? Why don't they just kill us all and fry our brains if they're so dangerous? How did they even get past the Black Wall in the first place? Maybe they're not as powerful as we think. Maybe they just all got lucky in reference to the Black Wall. Maybe, like Maximum Mike of Moro Rock Radio says, the old nets and everything past the Black Wall is really just a portal unknowingly leading to hell. Who knows? Maybe hell is just seeping its way through into our own world through the form of technology, slowly chipping away at the authentic human experience, the beauty of nature, the beauty of the human body, and most importantly, the soul. But those are all just crazy, weird conspiracy theories, right? Right. Anyway, our next piece of evidence lies with a very unique character, known as Gary the Prophet. The man not far from Misty's shop, who can be seen on various separate occasions preaching about conspiracy theories that to your average person seem completely insane. Sure, he's missed the mark a little bit with aliens and nomads being werewolves, and the Arasakas being vampires. But in a more general sense, I do really think he's onto something. In a more grounded sense, of course. After hearing the nomad-werewolf interaction, Gary will give you a quest, that being to eavesdrop on a special meeting held between Maelstrom, a gang, mind you, known for satanic activity, and a very suspicious pair of corpos, both wearing sunglasses over their eyes that cannot be removed upon death. And I know that's not unique to Cyberpunk, non-lootable clothing, but still, it's a thought. There could be, perhaps, glowing blue eyes behind those sunglasses. But, essentially, a Maelstrom ganger will go on to say how he wishes this business to just be over with, as he feels the group is far too in over their heads. An interesting remark, to be sure. It definitely tells us that we're dealing with someone who is very powerful, or some very powerful people. But you'll go on to interrupt the deal, killing Maelstrom and the corpos, and loot a very mysterious chip off of one of the corpos' bodies. However, the interesting thing is, when you return to Gary, he's gone. A bystander you speak to simply tells you that some men simply showed up and took him away. That is very suspicious. You're telling me that some seemingly random, crazy conspiracy theorist in an armpit alley in Night City found something out that is important enough that the men in black of the dark future came and took him away. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is a smoking gun. Perhaps not for AI specifically, but doubtless hinting towards some sort of deeper hidden plot. A plot that someone will go to great lengths to ensure no one knows about. Even snatch hobos off the streets. Now, despite all of these hints and would-be evidence, we still have absolutely no proof of a supposed AI shadow government conspiracy really existing. Aside from maybe Mr. Blue Eyes, of course. And he's just one man. The only things we do have are two separate situations where very mysterious, very shadowy entities go to extreme lengths to maintain power and control over Night City and whatever mysterious affairs they are conducting. Whether or not these shadowy entities are linked, it's very possible, yet at the same time, very not possible. There's simply no way to know for sure. Maybe there is no shadowy AI conspiracy, and it's just Arasaka, up to some super secret, no good corpo business. Maybe it is AI, and they've found a way past the black wall. Maybe AI are in fact demons from hell, taking on the form of AI, seeking to ruin and control every aspect of the human experience. Maybe demons from hell are just AI in their natural form, and hell truly has seeped into civilization itself. Or maybe I'm just fucking crazy. What do you think? I'd love to know all of your thoughts down below, as the universe of Cyberpunk is something I find absolutely fascinating. I love how deep and mysterious the lore is, the characters and how they impact the world, the dark future and all the technology that comes with it. It's all very, very interesting. But for now, my fellow lore masters, net runners, and solos, that is my theory on why artificial intelligence may be subtly controlling human civilization from the highest levels, and how we may have absolutely no idea. Yet despite all of our fancy tech, Mother Nature still remains undefeated. So with that, may the wind guide you.